Hello everyone and welcome to Cosmic Diaries. This is Priya Kale and today is Thursday, May 22nd. As I record this, the moon is in Pisces and Jupiter is forming a trine to Saturn. But by the time you see this video, I'm going to try and get it up for you today before the moon goes void. But if not, then I'll have it up by tomorrow, the 23rd. And by then the moon will have entered Aries. The moon enters Aries tomorrow on the 23rd of May. At 12:01 p.m. here in New York in the afternoon. I recorded the Mars and Libra video a day ago, and honestly I couldn't sleep all night last night because I kept thinking of all the things that I still had to say to you and that are certainly going to be triggered now as the moon enters Aries and passes through the Grand Cross, because the moon, Aries is Mars' ruling sign. As the moon passes through Aries, it will oppose Mars, then square Pluto, conjunct Uranus, square Jupiter, and set all of this again, trigger off this Grand Cross again that we've been dealing with pretty much all of this year, and the peak in April. And now that Mars is direct, this stuff is really moving forward. A lot of pent up anger, frustration, emotion that people have been dealing with, and depending on how conscious and aware one is, you've hopefully been able to find that inner balance. But we'll never really know that, and I mean, as long as we're alive, we're still learning lessons. So you'll really know how much you've been able to balance your energy only when you're triggered. That's when you'll know whether you've found that balance inside. But still, you are dealing with other people as well now. So it's not just, there's two people in the equation, and especially now as Mars moves forward as the moon moves to Aries and Mars is newly direct. Over the 23rd, 24th, we are passing through a little bit of explosive territory, and I don't want to scare anyone with that, but situations are being triggered and there could be unexpected developments. But again, now this is nothing to be scared of, and whatever unfolds is really helping equalize the situation and rebalance the situation. Once again, do what you can to find your point of balance and inner center. Angry words once spoken cannot be taken back. So you may have every reason to feel the way you feel, but the point is, sure, blasting off in the heat of the moment may feel good for about 5 seconds, but it doesn't resolve anything, and ultimately it's only going to destroy what you're trying to create or resolve or make peace with. And this is, again, not about somebody else, this is about you. Remember, the nodes are now in Libra and Aries. And that's why this period between now and July is so significant as Mars moves over and moves forward. Because the South Node, or Ketu, in Vedic astrology as we call it, in Vedic astrology they consider, I don't remember the exact word, but it's like the point of Brahma. So it's the source of all creation. And in Western astrology, or the way I like to explain it, is it's your latent gifts, it's your talents, it's the gifts you come into this world with, but it's also your past karma. So it's everything that you've brought into this world with you. That's why it can at times feel like a comfort zone, because that's what comes naturally to you. Whereas the North Node is considered in Western astrology the point of evolution, what we're evolving towards. So there has to be a balance of both, again, where you use your gifts and talents to move forward and achieve what you need to achieve or on your path in this lifetime. So with Mars being the ruler of the current South Node in Aries, moving in Libra, the sign where the North Node currently is, there's a sense of the past catching up with the present. And Now, if we talk about the Aries-Libra axis, if Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it's the unmanifest manifest, then you have the opposite end of the axis. So when that energy shoots out forward, because that's still Aries, so it's a blast of fiery energy. But when it shoots out to the other end of the axis, you get Libra, which is creation. So how are you using your will and your single-pointed force to create something? And Mars is the ruler of Aries. And then Libra is a sign of the other. So again, it's the opposite axis. So it's where the self meets the other, which translates to our relationships and the people that we relate with. And any relationship at best is a mirror to the self, so that we can gain deeper self-awareness. Because ultimately, there is only oneness, and we are all on our own journey of evolution. So the question is, how do you, as yourself, as Mars moves through Libra, how do you take your willpower of creation and desire and passion, which is all fiery Mars energy that you feel right now, and channel it into something creative? Be it, and watch that energy, so that you aren't, because it's fire, you can cook with fire, or you can burn the house down. Even in your relationships, this could, you could reignite sparks, or you could ignite new sparks, find passion, romance, or perhaps even a sense of healing, depending again where Mars is moving through your chart right now. That's why it's so important to have your natal chart. Maybe unexpected attractions, or meet new people who expand your world in some way. Maybe push your boundaries, but it's the matter of, you don't know what you're going to like until you try it, and you're just having to let go of the conditioning of what it means to have a relationship. The more you can let go of expectations and just be yourself, you can choose where you want to go. And then you're automatically going to attract the people and the kind of relationships that can be a creative force in your life, and could certainly last way far into the future. It's just about really having to let go of expectations. So, and this begins with being honest with yourself, and in your relationships, and then you can be honest with others in your relationships, and let go of expectations and see what happens. As long as you're not attached to something, and recognize you're only one half of the equation, you can find a way forward. Especially right now, as we come to this new moon and Mars in Libra, everything's negotiable. It's how flexible are you willing to be? Mars is currently the ruler of the South Node, so it's like we're pushing through our own karmic past and karmic patterns and the things that hold us back. And as we move towards Rahu, now Rahu, or the North Node, yes, it's the point of evolution, but it also becomes a point of, in Vedic astrology, they say it becomes a point of obsession. So it's almost like that thing that's just out of reach. But that's also what makes you keep on evolving towards it. As Mars moves forward towards this North Node, it's like we're clearing the past and we're reaching forward towards creating a new future. And so when it comes to your relationships, yes, this is a lot of passionate energy. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of desire, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger. There's all of this coming up, but there's also a great, great potential for liberation and a sense of freedom and being freed from something that's been an oppressive situation. So really, this is about you reclaiming your own power and recognizing the freedom you have to make choices, and that you have a lot more choices than you think, as you will see over the next few days and as we enter June. For a relationship to work, it has to be equal. If the scales are not balanced, it's not going to work. So even if a relationship in which two people give each other only 20%, has a better chance of working than a relationship in which one person gives their 100% and another person gives 90%. Because eventually resentment creeps in, anger creeps in, and the relationship will end up dissolving. So it's about understanding your own energy right now and how it affects you and the role you play in your relationships, and understanding that you are one half of the equation. So rather than expecting someone else to change, see what you are contributing to a situation and look at where you can find a sense of balance and break through your own patterns of behavior and of reacting to a situation. If you find yourself triggered, take a deep breath, then you can respond. And then as Mars conjuncts the North Node in July, early July, look at what develops over then by that point. On the 21st of July, Mars will move forward and out of shadow. So we'll be moving forward from the point that we were on the 1st of March, when Mars first entered station retrograde. So until the 21st of July, we're kind of clearing all of this old territory again. And then once Mars enters Scorpio on the 25th of July, by then Saturn will have just stationed direct. Saturn is in Scorpio, the other ruling sign of Mars, and Jupiter will have entered Leo. And really that's when this new year, quote unquote, is beginning. Because up until now, we've been dealing with a lot of stuff from the past. So think of this as the final run through, clearing forward. And so the more you're able to find that sense of balance within yourself and peace within yourself, and the balance within your relationships, then as Mars enters Scorpio, the whole game is changing, and then you can expect to deepen intimacy and enter into deeper connections. The more you're willing to do the work right now, you can trust that what stays in your life will be relationships with your equals. Yeah, because Mars entering Scorpio is all about change. So unless you want to be caught up in power struggles later, and really Scorpio asks for change or die. So it's better that you balance things out now. That way there can be real evolution by the time we enter July. And Jupiter will be in Leo again. So that's, if you haven't dealt with stuff, there's going to be a whole lot of drama coming up. So make peace now. But yes, I'll stop here for now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me go on. I hope I've not repeated myself too much. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll be back with more astrology, and I'll be writing the Gemini new moon report with detailed aspects for the Gemini new moon and what's coming up over the next 2 weeks. So do check that out on the blog, sign up, and the Jupiter and Leo webinar, that's on the 31st of May, and we'll be doing a short live question and answer session at the end. So check in with that. That should be fun, and I hope to talk to you then. And yeah, I'll stop here, but I'll be back with more soon, probably around the new moon, at the blog or on the video. And I'll catch you then. Ta-da!